Looking at the current job market, I need to tell you something that almost nobody is openly discussing right now, and honestly, it's probably one of the most disturbing things I've uncovered in months of covering the economy. 69% of companies have admitted to posting fake job listings. Let me say that again. 69% of companies are knowingly putting up jobs that do not exist. And if you think that's bad, 81% of recruiters have confessed they're doing the same thing. This isn't some conspiracy theory. This is documented data, and it's destroying the mental health and financial security of millions of Americans who are desperately trying to find work right now. I'm going to walk you through exactly what's happening, why companies are doing this, how scammers have weaponized the chaos to steal hundreds of millions of dollars from job seekers, and most importantly, what you need to do right now to protect yourself and actually find real opportunities in this completely corrupted system. And before we go any further, if you appreciate videos like this that break down what's really happening in the economy without the fear-mongering nonsense you see everywhere else, do me a favor and hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel survive and reach more people who need this information. Now, here's the situation. The average American job seeker is now applying to hundreds of positions and hearing absolutely nothing back. Not a rejection email, not a courtesy call, nothing. And they're sitting there thinking something is wrong with them, that their resume isn't good enough, that they're not qualified, that they're failing somehow. But here's what nobody is telling them. 21.7% of all job listings are completely fake. They're ghost jobs, positions that were never intended to be filled. And that number comes from research tracking millions of job postings across major platforms. Think about what that means for a second. If you apply to 100 jobs, roughly 22 of them don't even exist. You spent hours tailoring your resume, writing cover letters, researching the company, practicing interview caucus interview questions, all for a job that was fake from the beginning. And the companies posting these ghost jobs, they know exactly what they're doing. Let me break down why this is happening, because once you understand the reasons, you'll realize how calculated and frankly disgusting this practice actually is. Companies are posting fake jobs to build talent pools without any intention of hiring. They want your resume on file, so when they do need someone 6 months from now, they've already got a database of candidates. They're using you as free labor to do their recruiting work for them. Second reason, they're posting ghost jobs to make current employees feel replaceable. Think about it. You're working at a company, you see them constantly posting for positions similar to yours, and what's the message? We can replace you anytime we want, so you better not ask for a raise, you better not complain about conditions, you better stay grateful for what you've got. It's psychological manipulation disguised as normal business practice. Third, they're doing it for investor optics. A company that's posting a bunch of job listings looks like it's growing, expanding, thriving, right? Even if they have no plans to actually hire anyone, those job posts signal to shareholders in the market that business is booming. It's all smoke and mirrors. Fourth reason, and this one's really sneaky, they're conducting free market research. By posting jobs with salary ranges they have no intention of paying, they get to see how many qualified candidates apply at different price points. They're using fake job posts to figure out how little they can pay real employees later. You're giving them valuable data for free while you waste your time applying. And here's the really infuriating part. Since 2019, the hire rate has dropped from 8 out of 10 job postings actually resulting in a hire, down to just 4 out of 10 in 2024. That means more than half of all job listings now are either ghost jobs, scams, or positions that companies decide not to fill for whatever reason. The job search process has basically become a lottery where the odds are rigged against you from the start. Now, if you're watching this and you've applied to dozens or hundreds of jobs without hearing back, I want you to comment below right now. How many applications have you sent out this month, and how many actual responses have you gotten? Not automated rejections, real human responses. I want to see the real data from real people because I guarantee the numbers are going to be shocking. But here's where this gets even worse. While companies are posting fake jobs, actual scammers have turned the job market into a hunting ground. Job scam reports have exploded 340% since 2022. 340%. And in 2024 alone, Americans lost $367 million to fake job scams. Let me put that in perspective. That's not $367 million stolen from corporations or banks. That's $367 million stolen from regular people who were just trying to find work to support their families. The average victim is now losing $1,850 to these scams, up from $1,200 just 2 years ago. And it's not just young people falling for this. 38% of victims are over 40 years old. These are experienced professionals, people who've worked their entire lives, and they're getting targeted by increasingly sophisticated criminal operations. We're talking organized crime groups, and yes, even Mexican drug cartels have gotten into the fake job scam business because it's incredibly profitable and relatively low risk compared to other criminal enterprises. Here's how these scams typically work. You apply for what looks like a legitimate remote position. Customer service, data entry, administrative assistant, whatever. Someone reaches out claiming to be from HR. They conduct an interview over text or a messaging app. They offer you the job. You're excited, you're relieved, finally someone wants to hire you. Then they say you need to pay for a background check or buy specific software or purchase equipment from their approved vendor or pay for training materials. And because you're desperate and you want to believe this job is real, you send the money, and then they disappear. Or here's another version. They hire you for a work-from-home check processing job. They send you a check, tell you to deposit it, keep a portion as your pay, and wire the rest to someone else. The check is fake. But what it takes, I guess, it takes your bank a week to figure that out. By the time they do, you've already wired money out of your own account to the scammers. Now you're not just unemployed, you're thousands of dollars in debt. Some of these scams are targeting job seekers with fake resume writing services or career coaching that costs $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 with promises of guaranteed job placement that never happens. People are draining their savings accounts, maxing out credit cards, borrowing money from family members, all because they're desperate for work in a market that feels impossible to navigate. And here's what makes me so angry about this entire situation. 79% of job seekers report experiencing heightened anxiety during their job search. That's not surprising when you consider that 61% are getting ghosted after interviews. You go through multiple rounds, you meet the team, you think it went great, and then nothing. No rejection email, no phone call, just silence, and you're left wondering what you did wrong when, in many cases, the company was never serious about filling that position in the first place. I've seen people describe their job searches using words like tired, depressed, desperate, hopeless. These are people who did everything right, got the degree, built the experience, developed the skills, and now they're being gaslit by a system that's fundamentally broken and corrupted. Someone might apply to 500 jobs thinking they're just not good enough, when in reality, more than 100 of those listings were completely fake from the beginning. Now look, I know some of you watching this are thinking, okay, this is depressing, but what am I supposed to do about it? And that's exactly why I made this video. Not to scare you, but to give you the tools to protect yourself and actually find real opportunities. So let me walk you through the specific things you need to start doing right now. First, you need to learn how to identify ghost jobs before you waste your time applying. Here are the red flags you're looking for. If a job posting has been active for more than 3 months with no changes to the description, that's a ghost job. Real positions get filled or at least updated. If there's no salary range whatsoever, that's suspicious. If the job description is super vague with generic requirements like great communication skills and team player, but no specific technical skills or real responsibilities, that's probably fake. If you only ever get automated responses and never speak to an actual human being, even after applying multiple times, that's a ghost job. If you see the same company posting identical listings across multiple platforms at the same time, they're likely just farming resumes. And here's a big one. If the job requirements are absolutely impossible, like they want someone with 10 years of experience in a technology that's only existed for 5 years, they're not seriously trying to fill that role. Second thing you need to do before applying to any company, go check their Glassdoor reviews, specifically looking for mentions of recruitment issues. If current and former employees are talking about the company constantly posting jobs they never fill, or interviews that go nowhere, or a reputation for ghosting candidates that tells you everything you need to know, don't waste your time. Third, and this is crucial for protecting yourself from scams, never, ever pay money upfront for a job. Real employers do not ask you to pay for background checks. Real employers do not require you to buy equipment from specific vendors. Real employers do not charge you for training before you start. If someone asks you for money as part of the hiring process, it's a scam. Period. I don't care how legitimate it sounds. Walk away. Fourth, if you're doing remote interviews, verify the company independently. Don't just click links they send you. Go to the company's actual website yourself, look up their phone number, and call them directly to confirm that the person who contacted you actually works there. Scammers are very good at creating fake email addresses and websites that look almost identical to real companies. 5 minutes of verification can save you thousands of dollars. And comment below if you think companies posting fake jobs should face actual legal consequences. I personally believe wasting thousands of people's time and emotional energy should have real penalties. But let me know what you think, because I want to see if we're all on the same page here. Fifth, focus your energy on companies that are actually hiring, not just posting. How do you know the difference? Look for companies that are actively announcing new projects, opening new locations, or reporting growth in their earnings calls. Those are signals of real hiring need. Also, leverage your network. Jobs filled through referrals have a much higher chance of being real positions because there's a human being vouching for both you and the company. Sixth, document everything. Keep records of all your applications, when you applied, who you spoke with, what was promised. If you do fall victim to a scam, having documentation makes it much easier to report to the FTC, the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center, and your state attorney general. These agencies are tracking this stuff, and the more reports they get with good documentation, the better chance they have of shutting these operations down. Seventh, and this is important for your mental health, understand that if you're not getting responses, it's not necessarily about you. The system is broken. The data proves it. You are not failing. You're navigating a deliberately corrupted process designed to benefit companies at your expense. Don't let this destroy your self-worth. And if you're currently employed, even if you hate your job, do not quit until you have something else lined up. I know that sounds obvious, but in this market, having a job makes it easier to get a job. Being unemployed for extended periods creates gaps that make companies suspicious, which makes an already difficult process even harder. It's not fair, but it's the reality we're dealing with. Now let me address something that a lot of people are wondering. Is AI responsible for this? And the answer is complicated. AI is definitely playing a role, but not in the way you might think. Companies like Amazon have cut 16,000 corporate positions while citing restructuring and efficiency gains. Oracle is reportedly planning to eliminate 20,000 to 30,000 jobs to free up cash for AI infrastructure. Technology and professional services jobs are seeing the highest rates of ghost postings because 56% of tech tasks are now considered AI automatable. But here's what's really happening. Companies are using AI as a convenient excuse to cut costs and boost profits while they figure out what AI can actually do. Most of these layoffs aren't because AI replaced the worker, they're because executives want to show shareholders they're lean and innovative. The AI stuff is marketing. The real reason is usually just old-fashioned cost-cutting dressed up in new technology language. That said, you do need to be realistic about which skills are becoming more valuable. If your entire job can be described as takes information from one place and puts it in another place in a different format, that's vulnerable. But if your job requires judgment, negotiation, physical presence, creative problem solving, or managing complex human relationships, you're in a much better position. Focus on developing skills that are hard to automate, not because AI can't do them, but because AI can't do them well enough that companies trust it yet. And I need to be very clear about something. I'm not telling you this stuff to scare you or make you panic. I'm not CNN or CNBC trying to get clicks by making you afraid. I'm showing you the data because being informed is how you protect yourself. Understanding that the job market is broken is the first step to navigating it successfully. You can't fix a problem you don't know exists. The truth is, there are real jobs out there. Companies are hiring, but you need to be smarter about where you invest your time and energy. You need to be more selective, more skeptical, and more strategic. And honestly, you need to be more connected to real human beings, because in a market flooded with fake postings and automated screening systems, personal relationships and referrals become even more valuable. Comment below your predictions. Do you think this ghost job crisis is going to get better or worse in 2025? I want to hear what you all think, because your collective experience and instincts are often more accurate than what any expert will tell you. Look, I know this video has covered some heavy stuff. The job market is genuinely difficult right now in ways that previous generations didn't have to deal with. But I also want you to understand something important. Your skills have value. Your experience matters. The fact that the process is broken doesn't mean you're broken. Don't internalize this dysfunction. And for those of you who are employed and watching this thinking, wow, I'm glad that's not me right now, I want you to understand that you have a responsibility to help others. If you know someone who's job searching, send them this video. If your company is actually hiring for real positions, help qualified people in your network apply. If you see someone getting scammed, speak up. We have to look out for each other, because the system certainly isn't looking out for us. If you found this video valuable and you want to stay informed about what's really happening in the economy so you can protect yourself and your family, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. I put out videos every week breaking down the data and giving you actionable information you can actually use. And if you haven't already, hit that like button, because it helps more people find this content when they need it. The job market is going to continue being chaotic for a while. Ghost jobs aren't going away tomorrow. Scammers aren't going to suddenly develop a conscience. But being informed means you're not going to be one of the people wasting months applying to fake positions or losing thousands of dollars to criminals. You're going to be strategic, protected, and ultimately successful, because you saw the game for what it really is. Your future self is going to thank you for staying informed and taking action based on real information instead of false hope. Take care of yourself and others until the next video. And seriously, click another box on your screen to watch another video covering the real economy and job market. There's a lot more you need to know.